Hey guys, how's it going? Shannon here to do your tarot reading today. I am starting this again for the second time because the last reading just got so convoluted that I couldn't even follow what was happening. So we've cleared the air, we've burned some sage. I will say this, as I meditated on this morning, I was hearing it's a journey, not a destination. Life's a journey, not a destination. So I feel like that's a message that someone needs to hear. Oh, and look, you can probably see Howie in the back there. My new little puppy. He's 2, but he looks like a puppy, so we'll call him a puppy. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know today? I was going to pull oracle cards, and right before I started this, I heard no oracle, so I guess we're not doing oracle cards. For the collective, please, Spirit, what do we need to know? And we are going to do past, present, future, spiritual, physical, subconscious spread today. So we're going to be getting quite a bit of information here. Messages for the collective. Okay, we got 3 that flipped at the same time. So we've got the Emperor, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. We have the Page of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. We have Page of Cups, woo, Temperance, and the 8 of Cups. Okay. That was the last reading that just got so convoluted that I could no longer follow it. Sorry, Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. That reading had a massive emphasis on patience and balance. So we're seeing that same theme here again, although I feel like Spirit's coming through a little bit clearer this time. Okay, so in the top row here, spiritual realm, we see the Emperor, we see the 6 of Pentacles, we see the 10 of Wands. So it seems to me like maybe somebody, and oh boy, here we go, we're getting lots of messages. So somebody could be helping somebody out in a spiritual way. I'm sorry, this phone is new and I'm trying to get it to pick up on the cards. In a spiritual way, in a financial way, you could be helping. I'm getting the vibe that you're helping somebody with their living situation and that it's starting to become difficult. What about spiritually? Spiritually, okay, we see you giving guidance to people. We see you giving of yourself in the physical, giving your physical energy away, and this starting to become very, very draining for you. As we move down into the physical here, we see somebody coming in, the Page of Wands, some type of a message about maybe needing to move on. So we see the Page of Wands, the 8 of Swords. I'm going to see if it'll let me show these cards. I'm going to put them in front of my face. Like maybe if I do this, there we go. So we see the Page of Wands, the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Wands. So to me, this is Spirit saying that here's your message. Take the blindfold off. It's time to move on. You've been helping. You've been assisting. You have to fill your cup before you can fill anyone else's cup, right? And that's kind of what I see happening here subconsciously with the Page of Cups, Temperance, and the 8 of Cups, is somebody here, you, finally getting to the point where you say, you know what, you're right, I'm going to balance things out, and we're walking away. We can't do this any longer, right? We can't keep giving of ourselves. You know, our emotional well is not bottomless. We have to make sure that we're filling that for ourselves as well. And we see the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And it seems like that's the energy that you're stepping into. So you might want to consider yourself here in this Emperor energy, but whatever it is that you're doing for someone is depleting you. like depleting you. So for some of you, this is a kid coming home. And them taking. And you finally, like, as much as it hurts you emotionally, you kind of having to say, look, I've got to step out of this. I've got to let you find your way. In order to restore the balance. For others of you, like I had said initially in this reading, this is about you trying to, I'm like seeing somebody trying to get pulled across a road. Like you're trying to pull somebody back to where they need to be, but you have to understand, okay? We can't force people to awaken, or we can't force people to see things the way that we see them. And it's very possible that we could be meeting people who are not yet where we are on our spiritual journey, and that's fine. We can't judge those people, and we can't judge ourselves. So we can't go backwards, they can't go forward. So it's kind of like we could be walking a path, a parallel path, and eventually the roads are going to fork. Is that to say they're never going to come back together and converge again? No, it's not to say that. But it's to say, for your own well-being, you need to move, you need to keep following your path, right? Because it's not a destination, it's a journey. So that's why that message was coming through. We're going to go ahead and clarify some of this with the after tarot and see if we can get some more info. But this is, I mean, I think Spirit was like, heard me like during the last reading. I was like, what? What are you saying? What are you trying to get across here? All right, let's see here. The World, the Queen of Swords, and the Empress. Yes, friends. Okay, so we see you stepping into your power, okay? And you realizing that you have all these tools at your disposal, that you're able to communicate. However, this is the after tarot, and I do want to point out that on this card, if we can get it to focus, she has the butterflies. She's pausing. Because the Queen of Swords can be a quite powerful energy to be dealing with. She can be quite cold. But in this depiction of her, she's pausing. And she's looking at the butterfly on the tip of her sword that landed there. That, along with the World and the Empress card, I'm seeing you being guided to maybe not be super cutthroat, to take a nurturing approach to whatever this is, but that you still need to follow through on it. And again, if this is your reading, it will resonate with you, and you're going to know, okay, this is what she means. Like, this is what, in my situation, I need to clear or discuss or begin. For others of you, you're walking away from this situation and it's going to lead you to birthing something new in a creative sense. So maybe by clearing out some of this stagnant energy you've got going on here, you're going to get an influx of downloads, or whatever you want to refer to them as, creativity coming up and blossoming, okay? For others of you, this could speak to a relationship, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's clarify this Page of Wands, please. What is this message? Nine of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Swords, which is typically the Nightmare card, but you have to remember this is the after tarot, right? So the Page of Swords is coming through and delivering the message that you are able to fight this. You are able to take this blindfold off. You are able to see clearly, and you're able to move forward. Two cups on the bottom of the deck. Chariot. You're integrating the lessons that you've learned. And that's what's giving you this courage to fight this demon, this monster. And the 9 of Wands, clarifying the 8 of Wands. Have courage. Have courage. Because you are moving on. So don't compare yourself to others. We see with this card here, let me see if I can get to focus. It just wants to focus on my face. Ah! So with this card here, we've got this little dude, all beat up and battered, standing next to this big guy, right? And what it's saying is like, don't compare yourself. He might be a little bit taller. He might, you know, be looking a little bit, he might be looking a little worse for wear than he is. But you're both out there on the battlefield and you're both fighting your own battles. So as you move on, remember to not compare yourself to anyone else. Your journey is not the same as anyone else's. But there is an emphasis here that you have the wherewithal to complete whatever this is. Whatever this is that you need to find balance with, patience with, that you need to move on from, you're moving on from it. It might feel uncomfortable. You're being guided to really dig deep. You have what you need to get through this situation. Justice. Justice on the bottom of the deck there. Focus. So, the Page of Cups and the Scales of Justice. So it seems like the Page of Wands message is that you have what you need to be able to fight this. And the Page of Cups message is to do it in a way, you do it from a place of unconditional love. No matter what this is. Because it seems like with all these wands and swords and everything out all over the place here, it seems like this is going to be an intense situation. It feels intense just looking at it, especially in the physical, okay? Remember that. It's going to feel more intense than what it actually is. If you allow it to, okay? Yep, Justice, 4 of Cups, and he's dumping it out with the Ace of Cups right underneath of it. So you're recognizing that something is not bueno, and you're getting rid of it because you have all the opportunities in the world here. All right, let's clarify the last 2 cards here. Please, your Temperance. What is Temperance here for? Somebody's going to be acting like a smug asshole. Just going to put it out there. Somebody, and you're going to be feeling defeated. And that's why we need this Temperance card. Okay? See this jackass right here? Don't let him get to you. The only reason he's acting that way is because you are placing boundaries around this situation. It's strange, to me personally, it's strange. Like, people place boundaries around things and people have such a difficult time accepting that. Like, when we create boundaries, they're to make us feel safe. They're not to come at you or to, you know, destroy friendships or anything like that. They're actually there to help us feel more comfortable and becoming more vulnerable by knowing that we have those boundaries there. And that's how we're able to make relationships grow. One of the ways. Let's clarify the Six of Cups. Judgment. The Page of Swords. And the Six of Wands. Judgment. I think I said it earlier in the reading. Do not compare this. Don't compare your situation to somebody else's. Again, it's a journey, not a destination. Let's see here. So as I look at this, instead of this way, like spiritually, physical, subconscious, when I look at it this way, past, present, future, we're seeing what I'm taking as you fighting for your world. You see the world, the Nine of Swords, and the Justice card. So if you remember, this is clarifying the Emperor and the 2 pages. So you're fighting for what you feel you deserve. You're fighting for reciprocity of some sort. Like you've been giving, and you've been given nothing in return. But I see you doing this from a nurturing space, from a space of love and compassion, not from a place of resentment and hatred. That's important to say. It is also important to say that you are going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to take your blindfold off. It's going to be uncomfortable, okay? But, get this to focus. It will be worth it. You need to integrate different parts of yourself here to accomplish this. And once you do that, the blindfold falls off and you start moving forward. As long as you're able to not judge. Do not hold judgment. Not about yourself, not about anybody else, not about this jackass and the 5 of Swords. You have everything you need. As I say in most readings, this is going to be, whoever this resonates with, it looks like you're either walking into a difficult period or walking out of a difficult period. Or, I mean, you could be right smack dab in the middle of it. But I'm here to tell you that this will end. And that by you taking the action and discerning what intentions of yours are for the good of everyone, and discerning which of your intentions are being brought forth by your ego, you're really going to come out on top here. And I'm like I said earlier, I get this kind of feeling like this could be a kid coming home. I get this feeling that this is really about you and somebody that you care about quite a bit. And this will also be beneficial for them in helping them get onto their path, onto their journey. Maybe they had fallen off their path and you're trying to help them get back on. You're going to need to create boundaries around that. And you might feel like, oh my God, but if I do that, you know, they could, let's say for instance, this is a situation with like an an alcoholic or something. We don't want them to go back to drinking, so we're walking on eggshells, right? You can't do that. This person needs to get back on their path, and they have free will, just like you do. So you have to handle this, and you have to move forward with confidence and with love. And when you're able to do that, that is when we see, you know, you stepping back into your power. And as much as I hate to say this, sometimes we're just not meant to help other people. Like sometimes we're not meant to be messing with their journey. If someone's not ready, we can't force them. And I think that's one of the hardest lessons that we have to learn in these meat suits, is that we cannot force people to meet us where we are. If they're meant to come back in, the universe will make it happen when the time is right. So have patience, my friends. Have courage, my friends. And please do remember that whatever this situation is for you, that it is a journey and not a destination and that this too shall pass. I hope that helps you guys out. I appreciate you all for stopping by. Thank you. I love you guys. And I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good one.